My name is Ankush Dey and today we are going to learn fractions for class 3. So we have 4 topics. What is a fraction? Types of fractions like proper, improper and mixed. More about fractions, like and unlike. What is the equivalent fraction? What is a fraction? A fraction represents a part of a whole which has been divided into equal parts. As you can see here that there is a whole circle and all of it is filled with blue color. That means it is one whole. So we can see here the next one is partitioned into 2 parts and one of it is shaded. The next one, it is divided into 4 equal parts and one of them is only shaded. Lastly, we can see that there are 4 equal parts and only 3 are shaded. So the line that divides the numerator and the denominator is called the vinculum. The number that is above the numerator, above the vinculum, is known as numerator, and the number below the vinculum is known as denominator. So we got here more examples, like there's 4 equal parts here and only 2 is shaded. And we can see here that there's 8 equal parts and only 5 is shaded. So we can see here it is 5 by 8 and the last one it was 2 by 4. So in here we can see 16 equal parts and only 4 are shaded. So we can see that there is 4/16 of it is filled. Types of fractions. Proper fractions. So friends, we are now going to learn proper fractions. It is really easy once you understand. Proper fractions can be identified by one criteria. The numerator in the fraction is smaller than the denominator. For example, 1/2, 2/3, 5/7. Improper fractions. Now, it is just the opposite of proper fractions. So we can now surely understand that what the criteria is. The numerator is greater or equal to the denominator. So here it says that it is greater and equal. So if we see 18 by 18 or any number, if it is equal in the numerator and the denominator, then it will be called as an improper fraction. So we will have more examples like 9 by 5 and 18 by 15. Mixed fractions. Mixed fractions have no connection with like or unlike fractions. Mixed fractions can be identified with one pattern. A mixed fraction is a combination of a whole number and a proper fraction. For example, 1 whole and 2/3, 2 whole and 1/7. So this 1 means there's 3 parts and there's 2 more parts in that. And we can see here that there's 7 parts and there's 2 of the 7 parts, like there's 7 into 2, 14. So we can see 14 parts is filled and then another part 15 is filled. Practice 1.1. 1. Write P for proper fractions and IP for improper fractions. So we can see here 9, the numerator is smaller than the denominator. So we write P or proper fraction. 13 by 12. The numerator is greater than the denominator, so it is called the improper fractions. 18 by 18. We can see here that 18 and 18 are both equal. So as we learned in the previous slide, that if there is equal numbers, then we call it improper fractions. So we will write IP for that. 67 by 32. As we can see here, the numerator is greater than the denominator. So we learned in the previous slide that 67 is greater. So 32 is less. So we write here IP for improper. 14 by 22. 14 is less. 14, the numerator is less than the denominator 22. So we write for P for proper. So we can understand what are proper fractions. Now we can also understand what are improper and mixed fractions. Like fractions. Now friends, we are going to learn like fractions. Many people think that it is very difficult, but you know it is very easy. Like fractions can be identified by one norm. If two or more fractions have the same denominator, then these are called like fractions. For example, 4 by 20, 9 by 20 and 13 by 20. You can have more examples like 5 by 20 and 15 by 20. That your choice, so you can do it if you like, you can add some more. So moving on to the next slide. Unlike fractions. If two or more fractions that do not have the same denominator, then they are known as unlike fractions. For example, 2 by 2 thirds, 4 eighths and 9 twelfths. So we can see that 3, 8 and 12 are not the same number. So it is an example of unlike fraction. Equivalent fractions. Equivalent fractions are obtained by multiplying or dividing both the numerator and the denominator by the same non-zero number. It is non-zero, so you cannot multiply it or divide it by 0. For example, 1/2 is equivalent to 2/4. So if you multiply 1/2 by 2, if you multiply this numerator by 2, then it is equals to 2, and if we multiply the denominator 2 by 2, then we get 4. So now you can understand how equivalent fractions are formed. We have another example over here, that 3/7 is equivalent to 6/14. 6 by 14. So 3 multiplied into 2 is equal to 6. Here we can see that. And 7 multiplied by 2 is equal to 14. So we can understand that we can do it by multiplying or dividing. I didn't give any examples of dividing, but you can do that. I will teach that in the next lesson. So if you like my video, please give a thumbs up, and if you are the first time in this channel, please feel free to subscribe. And I didn't cover all the things in the fractions, so in the next video I will give operations and fractions and converting fractions, and then I will give this dividing equivalent fractions. So thank you.